All right, welcome back to Trainwreck Games. This is Arthur, and we are continuing the first turn of Ted Racier's The Dark Summer, which would make it June 6th, 1944. Last session, we basically took care of the first and second waves of the Allied beach landing and set up our next action chit, which is British combat. So if you go to, does it explain it here? Basically, I think British a combat chit is do as much as you want. Active player may attack adjacent enemy units with all, some, none of its units. You know, pretty typical stuff. So now we got to figure out where the British are going to attack. Now, I'm hoping I've worked out some of the kinks in my process, but I know there's going to be a few left. And the thing I haven't done yet is raise the table up. So it's going to be some awkward disc slipping contortions going on here in the meantime. So yeah, I got to figure that out. The risers were supposed to come yesterday and didn't, but I'm not sure how to raise the table mid game because it's not like there are ridiculous stacks right there where nothing could go wrong. So I got to figure out what to do. Like, how can I raise the game? Because I might just pull these off and then roll the dice with the shorter stacks on the thing if I can just do it really gently. But it's an 8-inch lift, so it's not like it's just a little bit of a tilt. It's going to be a chunk. So let's see. Forgot my drink. Okay, so we're going to do British attacks. Now, the British attacks are basically going to be right around here. And yeah. Yeah, what happens with third wave? That's one thing though. I think third wave, are they just part of reinforcements? Are they part of moves? Because obviously the first two waves are sort of scripted. The third waves. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna treat it like when I get a British move, the third wave can make its way on shore. Because that seems logical. But yeah, again, current weather, showers. I forgot to use the second wave naval support, which may have made a difference, but that's just how it goes here. Okay, so I was looking up the mandatory attacks because I knew that the British were going to be attacking. I don't know if it's going to come into play here, but basically, like, these stacks can combine and attack that. But if this thing were here, you can't have like an unengaged zone of control, which I'm not an expert. I don't know anything about anything. I don't know anything about game design. I think I prefer that kind of thing to like Zoc bond. Like, if you're going to do something with Zocs, I think I prefer, hey, you got to jam up that Zoc if you're going to hit this Zoc. The Zoc bond where, like, these two units spaced, one with the intervening space empty, but they create like a magical barrier that you can't, like, it makes sense in a sort of operational harrying. You're not going to be able to get through cleanly, so let's just not do it. But I again, like, it was a mechanic that I was like, oh yeah, okay, yeah. But I didn't, I wasn't moved particularly one way or another because of it. And, and I think this is kind of something that clicks with my brain a little more cleanly. So, having said that, I think this unit is going to get pulverized. Let's just see. They're in, I think, basically empty terrain. So, clear terrain is going to have no combat effect. Naval support would be allowed. Would be allowed, but combat, general mandatory attacks, point to hook, Cherbourg support markers, Allied naval support. These markers are available on sun, cloud, and showers turns, starting with the second wave. Oh, okay, okay. So it's not lost. I can use it now to do that. Okay, it must be clear terrain. It is, or a town. Okay, that's fine. Okay, so yeah, we're going to use the second wave attack here. Why not? So this should be a lot. Their defense value is a 6, so that's pretty good. But we got a 6, 12, 18. You know what? Maybe I'm just going to hold off because I think we're going to get 6 to 1. We need to get to 36. So we're at 18. 24, 30, 33. Yeah, we get there. So we get 6 to 1 odds. So let's pull that up. Here we go. Combat results table. 4 on a 6 to 1 is probably going to be fine. Defender eliminated. I'm curious. I don't know. Not that a ton of people watch these. Actually, no, that's not true. Some people did, and some people. I don't know the name of the channel, but the person who runs it is Wardrobe. It's a channel I followed for a long time, and he makes very good videos about war games. They're much better. You should go to that channel. I don't know why you're here, but thank you for commenting. But I hope this more laid back format, because when I started doing these, I would have like the graphics come up and I would, use highlights that would move and animate on. And honestly, I'm lazy, and I've been trying to, both on this channel and Blacklash Trivia Night, the more I can eliminate from the process of getting the videos made, the more likely I think I am to make them. So, and it's just, yeah, I like having the thing. I just like, again, with Black Lodge, it's like, I want the idea that we're all hanging around the table. That's why I show you the perspective that I do. It's why I just like the idea that we're hanging around the table, playing a war game. There we go. Okay, so after you do that, you can do like an advance after combat. Now, can you advance after combat across? Ooh, what would that river do? See, I feel like a minor river would do 1 to the left, H, only if all attackers are attacking across the river. So I don't know if, let's see if this stack is across the river. It is. Okay. So what we're going to do, we would have shifted 1 to the left and we rolled a 4. It would have been the exact same thing, but that's good to know. So we technically did it properly. I think across a minor river, you can still do advance after combat. I don't think that's a problem. But let me just double check. Combat, mandatory attacks, determine results, step, conduct retreat, conduct advance. If all defending units are eliminated, surviving attackers may advance after combat into the defender's hex. It may ignore Zox. The stacking limits must be observed, which I think is 4 units. Okay. Can't cross a major without a bridge. But you can attack across a major without a bridge. Okay. So I'm going to move this big stack of doom, which I think is 1, 2, 3. I think it's 4 units, so I think it's going to be fine in terms of stacking limits. The next attack, we got a couple things we can do. We can do an attack this way. We can do an attack down. Basically, like, do we care that there's strong points here, or do we just bypass them? But I think one thing we're definitely going to do is we're going to, I'm wondering if when you get like the, yeah, it looks like you don't get to like move a unit. It's not like, in basketball where you get to take 2 steps and then shoot. So I think you just have to be adjacent and attack what you're adjacent to. So let's do an attack from there to there. We got a 310. And a couple 6s. So 12, 15. The terrain is across a major river, so let's see what that would do. Major river is going to be only one shift to the left, so it's the same shift. So we've got 12 till 15 against. Let's see what we got. 15 against 2, but it's also in a marsh. So we're going to get 2 shifts to the left. We had 1 shift for the march, 1 shift across a river. So 15 to 2, it's going to be 7 to 1. So it'd be 6 to 1, 2 shifts, going to make it a 4 to 1. 3 on the 4 to 1. Defender retreats with an asterisk. Defender retreats as above. If 2 or more steps defending, defender also loses 1 step. Okay, so it's sort of like a defense, but it's going to cost you. There's not. So there's not 2 more. So yeah, it's not going to lose anything. But I think there are rules where you have to, I think, retreat toward like supply sources, which I think would be over here. So I don't think, or maybe even up there is a supply source. Let's see. Entry through Hax's occupied socks. They must retreat in the direction of the nearest supply source, if at all possible. So I'm just going to move 1 there. And then, of course, now I can advance after combat. Oh, you know what? I didn't, you know what? I was about to say I didn't use my naval, but it wouldn't have mattered because it still would have been a 6 to 1 getting 2 shifts. It's not like I could have adjusted the shift, so that's fine. We're going to move these units across the major river. And we're then also going to conduct an attack there. Got a 6 and a 5 on the attack versus a 2. So it's a 5 to 1. I don't think there should be any 5 to 1. Yeah. 11 to 2 is 5 to 1. I don't think there should be any shifts for the terrain. And what I could do is I could use, again, the naval to make this a 6 to 1. Which, you know, why not? Gadunk. So that's going to get it to be like 17 to 2, which is definitely going to be a 6 to 1. There's no shifts. And a 6 wouldn't have mattered. Either way, it's eliminated. Oop. I guess what I should be... See, the other side says available second wave. So I'm going to flip this to there because I've used it. I guess I could have saved it for any of the future ones. I just blew it like an idiot, but that's fine. Just sort of getting dipping our toe in, so to speak. Okay, so I think that's going to take care of the British action shit. This is kind of part of what I was hoping to get from a chit draw system, where now it's just like go, go, go. So let's see what's next. Again, I'm going to turn my head, but you might be able to see what I'm drawing. Move. Okay, British move. Let's plop that down. Okay. Let's see. So British move is going to be just, you know, you take a full move and it can be all, some, or none, as the typical language goes. Yeah, player may move all, some, none. Only units of the appropriate nationalities are active and may move. German units in a German move. Now, this is, I can move British, Canadian, and Polish units. Now, I'm assuming they're all beige, so it's not that like I have to sort of like, oh God, is this Polish? I think it's just beige units, so that's good. So the question is then, where do I want to go? Again, you remember you've got the British zone, US zone line right here. Let me get this crap off the map. So I think, you know, you get victory points. Capturing Cherbourg is a big one. If I can exit units off the eastern map edge, I think at these letters, I think that helps. So let's see. Capture of Arromanches, Liban on turn 1. Where's hex 380? Let's see if that's something we can do. 380 is going to be on this side. Okay. Or is it? 37380 3. Okay, so if I can capture that on turn 1, I get a victory point. So let's do that. Let's bust a move to the west. Now we've got 2 units there. We've got the 2 units with a total value of 12. That seems like a lot. But I guess it could be helpful for defense. I mean, like, again, not that I'm like some expert. I've read the books and I've seen the show. Might be nice to start moving toward Cannes. Is that pronounced Cannes? Cannes is like the film festival, Canne. Is that Kane? I don't know. Again, I apologize. Obviously the Brits made their way to Falaise at some point. Anyway, I think the Canadians, didn't they make a BCS title? There's some game, I think, that's the Canadian Crucible. Is that something about in Falaise? Okay. Anyway, so let's have these guys cut there. So they're going to take that. We're going to get 1 victory point. Might be hard to see the markers because of these incredibly intelligent stacks of reinforcements. We're not on the times 10 side. We're on the times. I'm not quite sure what to do. Why there's only a times 10. Oh, there it is. Okay. Stuck it in the control hex. Again, classic. Detoxing from heroin shakes going on. I'm going to put a control marker under there. Why not? Probably don't need to, and I'm sure at some point I'll pull it off. But there we go. We've captured that town on turn 1, giving the Allies a victory point. Okay, so that's that move. I feel like the rest should be focusing on getting toward Kane. But yeah, so let's start doing that. Roads, these are like minor roads. I think they're not going to do much in terms of movement points. Oh, except that on, so yeah, it's 1 movement point. It doesn't cut in half like a major road. But interestingly, the note K says on sun and cloud turns, Germans may not use road MP costs. So that means like if the road goes through some crappy terrain, they got to pay the forest terrain. Not okay, cool. All right, so let's start moving these guys. These guys, wow, they can move 10. So again, Zocs jam you up, but there is this hole open toward Cannes. So this guy's can go 1, 2, 3, 4. They can get into Cannes, is basically what I'm saying. 1, 2, 3. Ooh, can they? No, because they're going to get hit by that sock. Okay. So they want 1, 2. So when they hit here, they're going to stop. So let's do that. And then let's put some pressure on from the north. So we're going to be, this is the thing. Like sometimes I watch, sometimes I watch people play war games, or I'm thinking to myself when I'm playing a war game, I should approach Kane with a pincer movement, and I'm like, what am I doing? Like, oh, look at me being, so grand tactical. I'm going to, exude genius as I, pincer move, and it doesn't accomplish anything. It doesn't mean anything. It just means I took different hexes, but I'm sitting there going, yes, yes. That is something I've read you should do. So I'm going to do that. Okay, so we're going to pincer. One, two. They're going to get stuck by the Zoc. I don't think these have a Zoc. So they get jammed up there. They get jammed up there. That's as far as they can move. But, now, So now I was like, oh, but these guys can race in the can. But at the same time, like, we got to protect the beaches, right? Like, we do, technically speaking, have units that could make their way up. We do have very reasonably non-comically huge stacks of reinforcements coming in that could be coming in from the east. So we do want to make sure, like, we do have to keep the beaches open. So maybe these folks start to form a bit of a perimeter. So maybe it is there. Maybe it is. Do you hang back across the river and make them try and get to the beaches? Do you hold there in a city and get all the defensive bonuses? That actually might be the play. Make them attack across a river. Oh, but I can't, though. I'm trying to break out. At the same time, if I can get far enough, I can start jamming up the hexes they come in on, and that can be good. As I think all this out in real time, probably should have thought about this before. Anyway, yeah. You know what? Let's take the fight to them. So we got there. Let's 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you got a bridge fight. So I can basically get to here. Because I got a 10 and a 6. Let me just make sure. The 10 movement points is fine. The 6. 1, 2, 3. Or were they over here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm going to say it's fine because they can go on the roads, and that'll negate. Somehow they get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Somehow they can get there, I think. So I think it's fine. Okay, so we got a little bit of a perimeter starting to form here. We've started to make our way into Kane. They've done their movement. These folks should move somewhere. Now I could run the risk of like throwing these guys down, having these guys come, and we can pincer these 2 units around here using naval support. I was going to say, but I've already blown my naval support for the British, so that was dumb because that would make it goes from a 6-3, 2-1. I could have made it like a 12-3, which would have been a 4-1, but I've sort of wasted that. But all right. The Americans, I don't think, can support the British, obviously. I think they would help out on the other side. So what am I going to do? I might just hold. I might, pop out a little bit. I'm going to have my third waves move on. So they go gunk gunk. Got some armor and an infantry. These guys can go this way or they can go this way. I'll spread them out. Why not? So we'll have them land. Airfields in England, third wave. So I feel like they're going to come on now. 4704. 47 is here. 654. Oops, I just bumped my head on the. Okay. It's going to be interesting when I do get the table up. The camera's going to be high enough that there's a chance that I'll just sort of like stick my head under the, and I won't even realize I'm doing it. So just brace for impact on that. That could happen. I've tweaked some of my setup. There's a couple of things. I'm trying out a new audio interface. I wanted to keep it simple, so it's not like some huge grand audio interface like a Procaster or anything. But it's the new Elgato MK2 series of their Wave XLRs. I didn't like. I liked the original Wave XLR, but the quote unquote problem I had with it was that it shifted the resources of the signal processing onto the computer. The new versions of the MK2s have it on board, so it takes it off of your computer, which is great. And the routing table is better, and the EQ options were always actually pretty good. It came at a time when I was not good at figuring out how to do a decent job with that. Not that I'm maybe any better now, but I feel like I've gotten a little bit more of a handle on it. So I was a little more comfortable giving it a shot and seeing how it worked. Yeah. Anyway, I don't have the full XLR. I use Stream Decks whenever I record this stuff, and so I got the attachment for the Stream Deck, and it works great. I always thought that was a clever idea. And yeah, I always thought that was a clever idea. I've said it before, I don't think they should sell Stream Decks that don't come with one of the attachments, either the USB hub or the XLR. I feel like, well, I shouldn't, shove my choice. I feel like just if you don't want the XLR, just get the USB hub, even if you never use it. But maybe there are reasons not to. Okay. So that's, third wave. I didn't get these guys off. All right. And what I also am going to do is an approach I started taking with some stuff on Black Lodge Trivia Night when I'm doing the computer role-playing games. I'm just going to, each session is just going to be each session. I'm not going to be like, this session is day 1. This session is day 2. It's just like whatever it is what it is. If you want to follow along to each one, great. If you don't, that's okay. But yeah, I'm not going to try and enforce patriarchy's concepts of time and schedules on to how I put these together. So anyway, so I think that's the British move. I think that is the British move turn. So let's see what we draw next. Got our little cup here going. Oh, do the Germans want to react? They can choose to react, or they can go forward with a chit draw. Is there something would? Let me see. So I was going to say, like, the 21st Panzer, like I could use a reaction to get the 21st Panzer to do stuff. I think the 21st Panzer could attack, but that'd be insane. Right now, because then when they lost, if they got knocked out or retreated, then they just opened up a road to Kane. But it would allow me to move some more defense. So let's do that. Let's do a German reaction. I'm going to activate, and again, I don't know if I'm doing this right, but I'm going to activate the 21st Panzer, which is right there, there. I don't think there's any other units. Let me take a look. I think it's just those 3 for now. So let's do that. It's going to be I think they can move and attack. Obviously, that unit can't move, but Okay, each action phase the German player receives between 1 and 4 reaction chits. Sure. In a reaction round, the German player may activate either one stack or one formation. Sure. Oh no, it's just moving. Well, it says Tiger or Kampfgruppen or whatever. I guess I should know. Like, I can't tell if this is just an armored unit, and then like if you get these, like, I don't know if you can see it. There's like a little chit here with a tank on it. To me, those were the Tigers, but maybe not. I don't know. Maybe that's just like some kind of support unit. Oh, okay. So right here it says it indicates Tiger Battalion. So it's going to be over. Yeah. So we haven't gotten any of those yet. Okay. Okay, that's good. It's it's very clear. It's the other color can do what it's going to do. So let's move. Let's get to town. Some stacks going. Let's jam people up. They're not going to move. Okay, so that's the German reaction. Let's see what we got next. Combat. Interesting. Do the Germans want to attack? That's a good question. Because again, they're going to get their ass kicked. There, it's not funny. There, you'd be attacking into a city with 12 versus 9 with a 2 shift going on. Because of the city. So 12 versus 9 is going to be 1-1. So you're looking at a 1-1 with a 2 shift. So you're basically on the worst. It doesn't get any worse. This is interesting because, yeah, you draw it, but then you're like, nah, what about over here? And that's just, like, hey, it's just like, yeah, I could see that, you could sort of write that off as just like, not the literal fog of war, what's over the hill, but just like the confusion, okay, wait, our supplies didn't get over there. We were, crap, we can't take advantage of this moment. Yeah, I kind of like that. So, let's see, we've done 1, 2. Yeah, kind of like that. Is there anything over here, though? The Germans can attack. This is a 5, 4, 6, but it's in terrain that might help. Bocage. Allied defender, 1 to the left, German 2 to the left. Okay, so they're going to get 1 shift to the left. Now, this is one of those things where, like, if I wanted to tag team on that unit, there's this Zoc that needs to be dealt with. And it would be a required attack. And the problem is that you're tempted to just throw something over there to allow you to do what you want. But that something could just get wrecked, right? And that's not good. So what I think I might do is I might just, let me see, I have a 3. Got a 6 to 4, which is going to be a 1-1, and it's going to be a shift to the left because of the bocage. I don't know if I'm going to do it. Maybe I should have been pulling those units during the German move. Did I get a German move? No, I got a British move out of Cherbourg. But I think here the Germans are better off like just trying to hunker down and jam up the Allies from getting to Cherbourg. Because once you get there, there's it's not insignificant what you're attacking. Although I thought Cherbourg had its own combat table. Yeah, interestingly. It's kind of interesting. I'll have to be curious to see how that goes. So I don't know if the Germans are going to attack. And I don't know if I'm just playing it too cautious, but I think I'm going to go with that. So let's see. I think what I'm going to do is How long have we been going? 35 minutes? That's not a bad length. So let's draw to see what's going to come next. And we'll pick that up on the first turns part 2. Okay, so now we've got an allied American chit, and they get to choose. So I think they're probably going to go with... I was going to say, do they go with attack here? Like, you know, we could do a dunk-a-dunk against them. They take care of the Zoc. Then we're not moving folks off the beaches, the third waves. These guys aren't making any progress in. We probably don't want to do this attack without more support. Looking at the cup, there will be 2 more American chits. What I might do is I might choose this to be a move so we can maybe set things up for the future. And yeah, we'll stop there. So yeah, thanks again to everybody who checks this stuff out. You know, again, like I said, I'm just going to slow roll through it, put up the videos as I go, and not worry about it. So hope you get some fun out of this. And yeah, we'll be back soon. Take care. Bye-bye.